This video of Titan Submersible on the ocean floor, which disappeared somewhere in 2023, 18th June 2023 at 9:19 a.m. Titan Submersible is taken to the North Atlantic Ocean to see the famous unsinkable Titanic. This was going to be an exciting expedition for the 5 people in it, because they were about to experience the Titanic shipwreck for the first time at a depth of 3,800 meters, and for the last time too. After about 1.5 hours, the contact with the Titanic breaks. What happened to the Titanic? Are the passengers alive or not? These were the only discussions going on in the world for the next 2 days. After 2 days of search operation, finally a news comes. Search team found some parts of Titan that showed that no one was left alive in the submersible. After the Titan Submersible incident, new and official details have now come to light. US Coast Guard has published the conversation between Titan and the upper mothership Polar Prince. What was happening with the mothership of the Titan from the depth of the ocean? What did they see after reaching the Titanic shipwreck? And what was the last message received from the mothership before the signal broke? After 1.5 years of this incident, for the first time, the US Coast Guard has released half of the video of the Titan, which can be seen alone in the depth of 3,775 meters on the ocean floor. This is the last part of the submersible, which means that the explosion was actually the next part, where 5 passengers were also sitting. In the second video released by Coast Guard, the next part of the submersible has also been shown, which is in a completely destroyed state. Carbon fiber pieces are scattered on the ocean floor. This proves that the next part of the Titan was imploded by the ocean pressure. That is, the water pressure entered the next part by crashing slightly, and the last part was separated from the same pressure. Was sent by the Pelagic Research Services on 22nd June 2023, 3 days after the break of the contact with Titan. Surprisingly, the Titanic's, but you will be surprised to know that the first-class ticket of Titanic was only £150, 112 years ago. If it is converted into today's currency, it becomes $4,300. And to see the meaning of that Titanic, the passengers in the Titanic had bought a ticket of $1,005,000. When it was going into the depths of the Atlantic Ocean, it was in contact with the Polar Prince, standing 1.5 hours above it. There were a total of 3 tourists in Titan Submersible. One of them was a well-known businessman of Dubai and a lover of adventure sports, Hamish Harding. 2 members of the Pakistani family, Prince Dawood and his son Suleiman Dawood, were also involved. The crew members, the owner of the Titan and the owner of Ocean Gate, Stockton Rush, were present. And finally, the Titanic shipwreck expert, who had visited the RMS Titanic's port dozens of times before, was 77-year-old Paul Henry Nertelet. After this accident, everyone wanted to know what happened at the bottom of the sea, which caused the Titan to implode. Because when the Titan's contact, at that time, underwater radars of US Navy detected a strange sound in the sea, which was an unnatural sound. This sound was also very doubtful about what this sound was. Was it an attack by a sea creature on Titan, or was it some kind of SOS signal? When this was going on, people were not able to answer the question that a news article comes out, which was about Titan Submersible's past records. It was told that in 2018, the director of Ocean Gate Operations, David Lockridge, was fired by CEO Stockton Rush for taking up many questions about Titan's safety. Actually, Titan was a submersible that was designed and developed by Stockton Rush. Its body was made of carbon fiber, and this material was not tested and certified for deep-sea adventures. This was an experimental submersible, and it was not certified by any department. David Lockridge told the CEO of Ocean Gate, Stockton Rush, many times that it is not safe for passengers, but he did not agree. Finally, when he was fired from the job, David published an engineering report in 2018 in which it was told that how a carbon fiber solution cannot be safe for submersibles at a depth of 4,000 meters. This also led to a fight between Ocean Gate CEO and David in court, which was not decided even during the Titan incident. After the accident, when this report came to light, it raised many questions on the Titan's build. When it was submersible in the experimental phase, how was it used for underwater tourism? Was there no body in the USA that could control such adventures? Meanwhile, another problem arose at Ocean Gate. The crew member Paul Henry Nardelet, who was also an expert on the Titanic shipwreck, his family sued Ocean Gate for $50 million. He said that Paul has seen the Titanic's wrecked shipwreck 37 times in the world. And maybe there is someone in the world who has so much knowledge about the Titanic shipwreck. The lawsuit states that Ocean Gate hid the mistakes in the past from the public, which is why he lost his family member. The pressure of the court and media was increasing, and a high-level inquiry was needed to find out the reason behind the Titan's explosion. and who is responsible for it. Therefore, a joint investigation was launched by the U.S. Marine Bureau and a U.S. Transport Safety Board in America, in which for the first time such details came to light about Titan, which were previously hidden from OceanGate. In the investigation, it is known that Titan was fully manufactured and assembled in January 2018, but next month it was sent for testing in Bahamas, where there was lightning in the testing. Titan was in the water at that time, but the lightning spiked the hull and compromised. Even after this incident, Titan successfully touched 4,200 meters of depth, where the sea pressure is 6,154 pounds per square inch. That is, only 1 square inch per 6,154 pounds, or as heavy as a Hilux car. When the test of 4,200 meters of depth was passed, everyone thought that the carbon fiber is safe, but the investigation said that according to industry standards, the submersible has to go 1.25 times deeper than the maximum depth it has to go, which was not performed. Not only that, in 2019, the pilot identified a crack in the internal part of the Titan in the carbon fiber hull, which was intentionally ignored. Investigators have released the animation of the first Titan submersible launch and its explosion, in which the mothership, Polar Prince, and Titan's conversation has been publicized. On 16 June 2023, after leaving the port of Canada at 9 a.m., Polar Prince traveled for 2 days and reached the point of Atlantic Ocean, where a Titanic shipwreck is located 3,800 meters below. On 18 June, at 9:19 a.m., Titan is taken off from the Polar Prince. During the journey down, Titan alerted the Polar Prince with its depth and location. Titan's location, speed, and depth were automatically getting to the Polar Prince, but it was confirmed in the messages, as at 9:32, Polar Prince said, "Have you at 680 meters?" On which Titan's pilot answered, "Confirmed." At 9:36, Polar Prince asked, "What is your dive payload?" So Titan answered, 1676. This is how their messages continued. At 9:50 p.m., Polar Prince is asked, "Do you see Polar Prince on your display?" But this time, Titan didn't answer. They remained silent for the next 20 minutes. But at 10:13 p.m., Polar Prince replied that our chat settings had disappeared. After that, Paul Henry Nardulet took over the chat and said, "All good here." It was 10:15 p.m. At exactly 10:28 p.m., the depth of Titan was 2,744 meters. At that time, he said that he was in the southeast of the Titanic bow section, which the Polar Prince also acknowledged. At 10:41, the Polar Prince said that when you deploy the Niskin bottle, then you must tell your time and location at that time, on which the Titan said that there is no Niskin bottle. Niskin bottle is a bottle which is used to collect ocean floor samples. After a few minutes, on 10:47, when the depth of Titan was 3,346 meters, which is only 454 meters away from the Titanic, they sent their last message. Titan wrote, "Drop 2 weights. Weights are attached to the submersible, which can be used to sink the weight into the water. When the speed of the fall is to be reduced, the weights are dropped one by one so that the speed of the fall can be reduced." As soon as he messaged, Titan's contact with the Polar Prince broke, and this time he never got any reply from ahead. I hope you will also like and share this video of InfoZem. Thank you so much for your loving comments. See you in the next great video.